Welcome back to OTBN Trivia Show, sponsored by SeatGeek. Head on over to SeatGeek.com and use code OffTheBallNetwork in all caps for $20 off your first order. If you were trying to use OTBN the last couple episodes, then you would realize that was not the promo code because I had the wrong one. So let's get right into it. I'm your host, Kenneth Cotterill from the Competitive Hedge Podcast. This is episode 5. If you haven't seen the first 4 episodes, go and check them out now over on the Off the Ball Network YouTube page. But let's start out with team number 1. They are the preseason number 5 seed. They won their opening match over Fresh and Mo, the opener of the season. They won 9-8. We got Das Basuras, that being Chris and Cruz. Fellas, how we doing?
Good.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I love that. I love that you take it so seriously. That's
but he would find himself, technically.
Stu, shut up.
All right,
started so strong this morning.
Team Toxic this morning from Chris and Cruz.
2 cups of coffee, a Gatorade. I'm all filled up with all type of
juiced up, man.
Juiced up a Mountain Dew.
He did a morning shoot around this morning. He was looking through some college basketball.
Like a morning shoot up.
Throwing out garbage, going back in, almost hurt my groin. I pulled my groin.
And then on the other side, we have the preseason number 1 team who just so happened to lose to the 8th seed in the opener, 8-5. We've got Triviamania. Omar and Stu, fellas, are we going to bounce back today, or were the expectations maybe a little bit too high?
No, listen, we're not. Go ahead.
They can't
I'm
even
just gonna Jared Allen. The lights are too bright for us in game 1, but that's okay.
I'll hit you.
We'll be all right.
I'll hit you with the Drake quote. Drake once said, "A minor setback for a major comeback." All right, so
there you go.
That's it.
Yeah. We're originals too.
That's what we're looking for with Stu.
You know, y'all were allowed to listen to Drake up there.
The hippity hoppity music.
I take it Drake wasn't in Indiana for the All-Star game, but
Only half of him was.
But let's go right into it. I think we know the rules and everything. We got the trivia topics: NBA, college football, the bonus round, college basketball, NFL, and then the specialty round. Chris and Cruz have got NFC East, and then we've got Super Bowl one-hit wonders for Stu and Omar. Game rules: designated speaker, I believe it's Stu for you guys, and then Chris for your team. 60 seconds to respond, 30 seconds if they get it wrong, and it goes to the other side. And then we've got the phone a friend option. Hopefully you guys collected Kev's number because that tends to be the phone a friend in this for college basketball. And then the stick it on him option actually worked out last time. First time it's worked in trivia's history. So let's get right into it. NBA is the first category. We're going to start with Chris and Cruz. Rank these players from most to least career points per game. LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, CJ McCollum. Timer starts now.
Blake's back end of his career is pretty rough because he didn't play a lot of minutes. So I think it's crazy. I think CJ had a higher PPG than all of them because he's kind of been 20 points per game, pretty consistent.
Because Aldridge on the back end when he got traded to the Spurs, he wasn't.
He was still around 20, yeah, but then he went to the Nets and stuff, and that went down. So honestly, I think it's CJ, LaMarcus, then Blake.
Maybe we should stick it on them. I don't think they know it either.
20 seconds.
You want to stick it on them already?
I mean,
this is your call. I'm giving it to you, big boy.
Yeah, let's go and stick it on them.
All right, we're going to have the stick it on them option. You guys are going to have 30 seconds to figure it out and then put in an answer. Go ahead.
I think Chris had it right. I think
me too.
Yeah, I think it's CJ, LA, and then Blake.
Yeah, so CJ, McCollum, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Blake Griffin lock it in.
2-0. They steal. As the host, hearing you having it nailed and then going, should we stick it on him? I was like, oh no. So yeah, CJ is 19.6. LaMarcus is 19.1. Blake Griffin 19, right on the dot. I think those Celtics, whatever other teams he's been on, have really hurt him over the last couple of years.
Good job, Rob.
All right. 2-0. Omar and Stu, here we go.
2-pointer.
Rank the players from most to least career 3-pointers made. Kyle Lowry, Paul George, Eric Gordon. Timer starts now.
I think it's EG, PG, and then Lowry.
I think EG over PG.
Yeah, because
yeah, especially when consider PG injuries and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Go ahead.
We'll go Eric Gordon, Paul George, Kyle Lowry. Lock it in.
Goes to the other side.
What do you say? PG, Eric Gordon.
No, they said Eric Gordon.
EG, PG, and then Lowry.
Okay, so that's wrong, obviously.
I was going with the Indiana guy first, all right?
Right, too. Paul George was hurt a lot.
10 seconds.
PG could have been your Indiana rep as well there, Stu. So
I think it might be PG, Lowry, then EG.
Go ahead.
All right, Paul George, Lowry, Eric Gordon.
2-1.
Nice.
So Paul George has 2,155. Lowry's 2,140. Eric Gordon distant at 1,949.
Swept. We didn't miss that first one.
Yeah, even with Paul George missing a lot of time, he's kind of an underrated 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
like he does shoot.
Well, yeah, because he was the number one guy in Indiana, and
right.
Even with all the missed time, he shot a lot of shots still. And EG was like a 6-man for most of his career.
Right.
Alrighty, 2-1. Heading over to Chris and Cruz for this one to tie it up. In the 2012-13 NBA season, who won the Central Division title with a 50-32 record? Timer starts now.
Central Division.
That's Memphis.
Southeast. No, Central's in the Eastern Conference. South. Eastern. Shit, I forgot the divisions. This would be the Stickum one, but Cruz wanted to use it. So can't even think of the freaking teams in the divisions. Central. Pacific.
20 seconds.
I hate that the NBA divisions are so irrelevant. I can't even think which teams are in the divisions.
5, 4.
Say I'm probably wrong. Pacers. Lock it in.
Wow.
Ooh.
What
I knew that one.
What
I was hoping you wouldn't go no answer that one. I had that one locked up.
That was the year that they played the Heat and the
Yeah. No, I was just I was thinking. Wait. I forgot the division for a second. I'm like Central is. I'm thinking geographically Central. I'm like, all right. The Pacers were good that year. So I'm like,
So the Pacers were 50-32. Bulls were 45-37. The Bucks weren't quite there yet. They were 38-44, and then Pistons and Cavs were both
that's a Central Division.
struggling at that time, to say the least. So, alrighty, 2-2. Over to Omar and Stu for question number 4. In the 2012-13 NBA season, who won the Pacific Division title with a record of 56-26? Timer starts now.
All right, so Pacific, you're looking at both LAs. Sacramento, Golden State, think Phoenix. So is that Lob City era? Before that?
It was right. Blake was there. I'm not sure if DeAndre Jordan was there yet or not, but that's around the same time.
Yeah, and that was like towards. I don't think the Lakers were good at that point, right? Or were they? I'm trying to think. I'm down to either Lakers or Clippers because Kings weren't doing anything then. What do you think?
15 seconds.
You tell me. I'll go with whichever one.
We'll go with the Clippers.
Clippers, lock it in.
3-2. So Clippers, yeah, they were really good around that time. That was CP, Blake. I think Jamal Crawford was there then. And then Golden State was 47-35. That was like the year that Steph was starting to take off. Lakers were 45 and 37, and then Kings and Suns, they were both.
Is that the year the Clippers blew the 3-1 lead
I think so, yeah. I think that was that.
to the
year.
Rockets? I think that was the year.
All righty, so we're heading over to college football. It's 3-2 for Omar and Stu. Question number 1. This is for Cruz and Chris. Ohio State won the most games in the 2010s out of any Big Ten school. Who finished second? Timer starts now.
2010s. I don't think Michigan, because most of the 2010s.
Penn State, right? Or maybe Penn State.
I'm thinking either Penn State or Iowa.
Shit, Iowa's low key. Yeah, they're like always like a 9-1 team.
Yeah, especially when they don't have to play Ohio State and Michigan.
But I feel like Penn State has had some like 10 win.
Penn State, because 2010, that was when they had Saquon and they went to the Rose Bowl in like 2016, something like 2017. The only two teams I can think of like that make sense, Penn State and Iowa. You maybe throw in like Wisconsin because they were good for a period of time, but
Wisconsin too, because they had some years where running backs were like dominating,
like Melvin Gordon and all that.
What does your first initial gut say?
Penn State.
Penn State. Let's just go with that. And if yeah, Penn State, lock it in.
And goes to the other side.
So there's also
Michigan State.
There's also Michigan State with the Kirk Cousins, Connor Cook, that era as well with Le'Veon Bell and those running backs.
That's where my mind went immediately.
But
Wisconsin is tough.
Iowa wasn't that good until like the last few years, really, where they've been that dominant.
10 seconds.
Michigan State, lock it in. Ooh, all right.
Always forget about them, man. To be honest.
So Wisconsin had 102 wins over that stretch. They were like a 9 or 10 win team every year. And then Michigan State was third at 92, and then Penn State was fourth at 87. Iowa wasn't in the top 4.
I think Penn State had some bad years in the early.
Oh, because that was right after Joe.
That's Sandusky time?
Yeah. That was Sandusky. Yeah, should have thought about that.
Oof. Yikes. All right. 3-2, heading over to Omar and Stu for question number 2. Alabama won the most games in the 2010s out of any SEC school. Who finished second? Timer starts now.
I mean, immediately you think Georgia.
2010s.
Like Georgia won a bunch towards the back end of the decade, right?
Yeah, but LSU early on.
Yeah, I kind of like LSU in that one.
Florida kind of fell off, especially with once Tebow hit the draft in 2010.
Yeah, I don't think it's Florida.
LSU.
I think it's down to LSU or Georgia. What do you think?
20 seconds.
When did Georgia really start rattling it off? Was it like 2016s around that time, or? I'm kind of leaning LSU. I don't know about you.
5.
We'll go LSU. Lock it in.
It was very close between LSU and Georgia. LSU was 103 and Georgia was 100. So just a couple wins separating them. Fourth was Auburn at 87.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's right on the Cam and the other guys here.
All righty, question number 3. It's 4-2 over to Cruz and Chris for this one. 2 players in college football finished with 15 or more sacks in the 2009 season. Brandon Sharp and which future NFL player from the SEC? Timer starts now.
Sharp. 2 players in college football finished with 15 or more sacks in 2009. All right, 2009.
SEC. Who was drafted in 2010?
2010 was that the Sam Bradford year? No, that was Cam. Was Cam 2010?
I think.
Oh God, I can't even think. SEC sack leaders 15 plus.
When was Von Miller drafted? No, Cam was 2011. So
15 seconds.
Unless Von Miller was A&M already in the SEC.
I don't even know, to be honest.
That's the only name I can think
5,
of.
4, 3. Chris, I need a name.
Let's go Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Let's go.
Woo! Woo, at the buzzer.
At the buzzer.
Nice.
17
At the
for Von
buzzer.
Miller. It also should have said from the now SEC because they were Big 12. So that's my mistake.
That's the only thing was tripping me up because I didn't know if they were in the SEC.
You got it either way, but yeah. So 17 for Vaughn. Sharp was 15. And then Ndamukong Suh was around that time, but he only had 12 in his year in 09. So, okay. 4-3, heading over to Stu and Omar. 2 players in college football finished with 14 or more sacks in the 2010 season, Daquan Bowers. And which future NFL player from the then Big East? Timer starts now.
I mean, Aaron Donald comes to mind. I'm not sure if that's too soon.
2010. Donald. Might be a little early for Donald. Who all was in the Big East back then?
I think West Virginia was a Big East, Syracuse, Rutgers, Louisville, Pitt, obviously. I can't think of these other teams. I used to watch Big East every week, but
20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm blanking on this one, so I don't know if you got anyone.
In the Big East, where was Memphis at this time?
Conference USA, probably.
Okay.
5,
just
4.
throwing it. Aaron Donald. I'll just throw it out there. It's too early.
Yeah.
Didn't Gerald McCoy go to Rutgers? Who was in the Big? Weren't they in the Big East at the
Gerald
time?
McCoy, the DT?
Yeah.
No, I went to Oklahoma. Oh man, I can't. Big East. Wow. I was going even further back. I was thinking like Elvis Dumerville.
10 seconds.
That's like
I have
2005 -ish.
nobody. I don't even know who's in the
honestly.
Big East at the time.
5, 4,
I got
3,
nothing. I got
2,
nothing.
1.
West Virginia, right?
You were right. You mentioned West Virginia, and I thought that you might be going down that road, but
I forgot he played at West Virginia.
yeah. But yeah, Bowers was 15.5. Irvin was 14.
I forgot West Virginia.
No
was
one
in the
else
Big
really
East.
notable around there. All right, 4-3 as we head into the bonus round. This one is worth 2 points. Get your piece of paper ready for this one. All sports-related questions. None are basketball or football. Basically, if they're sports that Stu or I would have played growing up, then they're probably on this list. You must select someone to go first, the other person to go second, and then either one of you can answer if we go to the third round. Best 2 out of 3. So who's going to go first for you guys, Cruz and Chris?
Cruz can go first.
All right.
Okay. Stu, Omar, who's up?
I'll go first.
All right.
Okay. So Omar versus Cruz. Career home runs for Mike Trout. 20 seconds to answer.
Ken lined this up because he knows I hate baseball. I
think there's only like 3 people that truly like baseball that do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cruz, let's see it. 300.
Yep.
Okay. Omar, what do you got?
This is kind of awkward. I also had, I can't see it for the blur, but 300 as well.
All right. Wow.
We'll get a tie.
Okay. Well, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next round. It was 368. So
It's a tie.
I didn't anticipate that happening.
First time ever.
This is always a first. It's okay. I have one backup one. Actually, we'll run it back with Cruz and Omar. You guys do the second one. I have a third in case. How many years since Jack Nicklaus won his final major?
Not the actor.
That would be Jack Nicholson. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cruz. 60. Okay.
Yeah,
35. Correct answer, 37. Omar wins that one. Jack's
I
last
thought he
major-
was like 90 years old, this guy.
Yeah, I thought the last one he won was in like
No.
the
You guys
60s
are
or
probably-
70s.
You guys are probably thinking Arnold Palmer,
When
but
Oh, yeah, maybe.
he
Wrong
he
old
won
guy.
the Masters. He won the Masters in '86. I think he was 48 years old then. So,
He's been old forever.
all righty,
All
one
the
to
whites are the
nothing.
same.
Now it's Stu and Chris. If Stu gets this, then they win. If not, then we go to the tiebreaker. Career wins by decision for George St. Pierre. I've never seen Stu look less confident in my life.
Probably not 30.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chris? 10? Stu?
I also had 10.
What are we doing, guys? Okay.
What was
All right.
the correct answer?
That's
Well, I luckily had questions ready for the other trivia match, so we're gonna go over to
What was the answer?
What was the answer?
15. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I almost went with 9 too. I almost went with 9.
You should have gone with 9.
All right, going back to you guys for this one. Making me have to go write more questions after this. Playoff wins for the San Jose Sharks since the year 2000.
Oh God. Oh man. This is for me and Stu, right?
Yeah. What are the odds we we do this again?
Playoff wins since the year 2000. Since
5,
2000? Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Chris, what do you got? 4. Stu?
0.
The correct answer is 104, guys.
I win.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
You're only off by 100.
Stu
You
thought they were
won
talking
by-
about the Knicks, man. You know, it's fine.
You won with 4?
I don't know
So-
hockey, dude.
I underestimated San Jose then. My bad. Sorry, San.
Yeah.
So-
Disrespectful, man. Yeesh.
Give him 4 wins. Hey, it's better than 0.
It's better than 0. Right.
Just to note, they had the third most playoff wins since the year 2000. They're only behind Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh.
I thought it was a trick question.
Me
They were in
too,
the
that's
playoffs
why.
like every year with Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau. And
I'm gonna act like I know who that is and just shake my head yes.
I
I've
actually
heard
know
of
who that
Joe-
is. I'm kind of surprised. I don't know a lot of hockey, but I
I
actually
don't know
know
the
who Joe
last
is.
guy. I know Thorntman.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
said
just
Thornton.
found one for the highlight reel there, so that's perfect.
awesome. Love it.
All righty, so 1-1. Who's going for the tiebreaker?
I got it.
I'll
Chris?
do it.
Okay.
Chris and Stu? All right, here we go. Career singles titles for Andy Roddick. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chris, what do you got? 21. Stu?
16.
Correct answer is 32.
Mm.
Chris and Cruz take the bonus round, an absolute slugfest going to 5 rounds.
Crazy.
that's
Slug fest with a lot of missed punches there, Ken. That's what that was.
yeah, that wasn't anyone winning. That's just like dancing around and hoping for a
Yeah.
decision at that point.
Yeah.
You
21
guys
felt like a good one. So
You
I
guys
thought it was
got-
going to be like 18.
What's
and we
the
were like right in the
score now?
middle.
scores 5-4. Chris and Cruz trailed by 1 going into the bonus round. Now they're up 1. So, all right. Now we're back to your questions and not the other matches.
Thank
so,
God.
college basketball, 5-4 is where we're at. Chris and Cruz, this one's for you guys. Salim Stoudemire, Hassan Adams, and Jared Bayless all played for this Pac-12 school in the 2000s. Timer starts now.
Arizona Wildcats. Lock it in.
6-4.
I was a big Salim Stoudemire guy. I thought he was going to be like a great pro, but that didn't happen.
Was
Only
he a
because
Knick?
he's related to Ari.
No, he went to
Murray,
the Hawks.
right?
He went to the Hawks, I think, in the second round. I think, if I remember.
Yeah, Bayless had a really good senior year. I think he averaged almost 20.
He was a solid
07,
pro.
08.
He was a solid backup.
Decent pro. Yeah.
Yep. All right, 6-4. Over to Omar and Stu. Gabe Pruitt, Daniel Hackett, and Taj Gibson all played for this Pac-12 school in the 2000s. Timer starts now.
He's USC, I think, right?
No idea.
I'm pretty sure Taj went to USC.
All right, USC, lock it in.
There was no thinking. It was just USC, lock it in.
Stu knows his weakness. I'm not very good at college basketball either.
I would say that's Stu's greatest quality about trivia is that when he doesn't know it, he doesn't say a thing. He just lets you talk it out for 60
When
seconds.
Stu started being silent, I was like, oh, maybe we can sneak this one because I definitely know.
I didn't know who the other two people were. I definitely knew Taj.
Gabe Pruitt was nice.
Taj Gibson was the only person I knew on that list.
Yeah. Gabe Pruitt was nice.
I could have told you who he played for in the NBA, but no idea who he played for in college.
Yeah. I think he led the Pac-12 in blocks his senior year. Taj did, and was third in rebounds. So obviously pretty solid pro as well. Okay, 6-5. Chris and Cruz. This one's for you guys. This NBA player is Texas A&M all-time leader in assists and played there from 2012-13 to 2015-16. Timer starts now.
All-time leader in assists, played there from 2012 to 20.
Von Miller?
Von Miller. Johnny Manziel.
I have no idea who played basketball. I didn't even know A&M had a basketball program.
It's been pretty recent.
I can't think. When he says the name, it's going to bother me. It's going to bother me because Texas A&M in 2000s. Antoine Wright? No, that's before Antoine Wright.
20 seconds.
Texas A&M.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I got nothing. I can't even.
Other side.
This is a name out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it's wrong, and I'm going to say AC Law.
AC Law, lock it in.
There is no thinking around it.
AC Law was like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I knew it was a white. I knew
It's the only guy.
Another Atlanta Hawk.
A&M, dude.
So there's only one reason why I remember that Alex Caruso went to A&M, and it's they played Northern Iowa in the tournament, and that was when they were down like 13 with 38 seconds left, and Northern Iowa blew it. It was like the biggest comeback probably in tournament history as far as like down the stretch goes. So Caruso, 649 assists. Couldn't tell you who the second place guy is. That's how relevant to A&M basketball is. All righty. Heading over to Omar and Stu, 6-5 right now to tie it up heading into the NFL. This NBA player is Michigan State's all-time leader in rebounds and played there from 08-09 to 11-12. Timer starts now.
So my mind goes to Draymond pretty quickly. I'm trying to think of any other bigs that played at MSU. I wonder if who's this guy's Adrian Payne. I'm trying to think if that's too soon for him or not. Between Adrian Payne and Draymond.
Let's go with Draymond.
Okay.
Draymond Green, lock it in.
All tied up 6-6.
Way to carry this on your back, my guy.
Good decision.
I love that Stu just sat there until you gave him the go ahead to lock it in. So, he finished with 1,096 rebounds at Michigan State. I was actually pretty surprised to see that he was the all-time leader because Michigan State does have a ton of really good guys. All right, 6-6 heading into NFL. Oh, that's the timer going off. This is for Chris and Cruz. Two wide receivers in the 2010 regular season had over 110 receptions. Reggie Wayne and this NFC South wide receiver. Timer starts now.
South, that's the Falcons. So I'm thinking like Roddy White, the Saints, Panthers.
Steve Smith, right?
That's what I was thinking. Steve Smith.
Did he have that many? I know he had a lot of yards, but did he? Who was
I don't
the
know
other
in
team?
2010.
He was still nice in 2010. So Saints, Panthers, Bucks. Saints, Panthers, Bucks. We're missing
Saints, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons.
Falcons.
When was Julio Jones drafted?
11, I think.
11.
20 seconds.
So it's either Roddy White. It's either like
That or Steve Smith.
Vincent Jackson. Was he? Rest in peace.
He...
5,
It's either Roddy or Steve Smith.
3,
You pick.
2.
I'm good
Steve
with either
Smith.
one.
Lock it in.
Steve Smith, you said?
Yeah.
Goes to the other side.
So is it either Roddy White or it's Marcus Colston, the old wide
I was
receiver
thinking
from the Saints?
Colston. He had a lot of receptions.
That's right around the time where they beat my Colts in the Super Bowl, and he was tearing it up then.
You want to go with Colston? Or you think
Marcus Colston, lock it in. Ooh, it was Roddy White. Should have gone with Roddy White.
Yeah, that's all right. That's
I
all
never remember Roddy being a big, like a lot of catches.
right. Catch
Roddy
guy.
was-
Yeah.
I know he had yards, but I don't remember him.
I think that was his biggest year, but yeah, he had 115. Colston was the next closest in the division, but he only had 84 around that time. So, alrighty, question number 2, heading over to Omar and Stu. 6-6 is where we're at. 2 wide receivers in the 08 regular season had over 110 receptions. Andre Johnson and this AFC East wide receiver. Timer starts now.
So 2007 was the undefeated year for the New England Patriots, which had Randy Moss on it, and he was there for another, couple of years. But Matt Castle was the quarterback in 2008.
So it's not a Patriot, you don't think?
Who played for the Jets at that time? Because they had Favre.
Oh man, is that Cotchery? Was he there then?
It might be. It still might be Moss.
That was before Welker, right?
Yeah, because I think they went 10-6 that year.
Yeah,
20 seconds.
All right, Randy Moss, lock it in.
Goes to the other side.
I think it's his teammate. I think it's Wes Welker. Remember Wes Welker? How
Was he there in 08?
Yeah, he was because he got there in 07. I think it's Wes Welker, to be honest.
Because the Jets,
the Jets didn't.
I think the Jets won the division that year.
Yeah, but they had like Braylon. I think Braylon and San Antonio, but they weren't throwing a ball like that.
They did.
5, 4,
I think it's Wes
3,
Welker.
2,
Lock it in, Wes Welker.
7-6.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, he was catching balls like crazy those years.
So yeah, the leaders that year is Andre Johnson at 115, Welker at 111, Brandon Marshall at 104, and then Larry Fitz and Tony Gonzalez each had 96 that year. Alrighty, 7-6. Chris and Cruz, you guys are up here. In the 2016 season, 2 teams had over 2,300 rushing yards as a team. The Dallas Cowboys and which AFC team? Timer starts now.
2016 Cowboys had.
Was that Jamar Charles was good that year, and he was with the Chiefs. I can't remember if this was. I don't remember who the Texans running back after Arian Foster was, but I know he was pretty good. But as a team,
Who had a good like mobile quarterback was there? 2016 NFC North. No, not any Ravens. No Steelers. No Browns. No. The West. Chiefs. Maybe the
Chiefs
Chiefs
had Alex Smith at
20
quarterback,
seconds.
who
Chiefs
can run sometimes.
Jamal Charles and whoever the backup was is probably solid. The Raiders. I think. By the time I think there's gonna be time up, so I'll go with the Chiefs. Let's go. Lock it in, Chiefs.
Goes to the other side.
That's a good
Being the
question.
Dolphins, like there was a couple years where they had some pretty decent running attacks. I'm trying to think if 2016 was one
It's
of
the
those.
Jay
years.
Ajayi year.
Yeah, like my mind went to Dolphins and Chargers immediately.
Also
I
the
don't know about-
Steelers, because Le'Veon was. I don't know who their backup was behind Le'Veon.
All right,
Right around the Le'Veon time.
5,
what do you
4,
think?
3.
We'll go with Dolphins. Lock it in.
Right division, wrong team. Damn.
What, it was Fred Jackson and Tyrod?
DJ Spiller?
It was Shady McCoy with 1267, Tyrod with 580, and Mike Gillisley with 577.
Never would have got that one.
Nah.
It was mostly because Tyrod put them over the top.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay. Question number 4, 7-6. This is to tie it up heading into the bonus round. Based off of how this match has gone so far, I wouldn't be shocked if we ended a tie. So. In the 2014 season, 2 teams had over 2,300 rushing yards. The Dallas Cowboys and which NFC team? Timer starts now.
This is for me and Omar.
Yeah. 2014.
So 2014, who is carrying the football for them in 2014?
That early.
Was it DeMarco?
Yeah, it might have been DeMarco.
DeMarco. So NFC.
So I think you think maybe Green Bay. You think.
I think it's Philly.
Philly?
Because
who's there that time?
LaShawn McCoy, Mike Vick.
I forgot about Vic.
20 seconds.
Well, could have been Washington too with RG3, Alfred Morris. We'll go with the Eagles, lock it in.
Goes to the other side.
I doubt it was Washington because 2014.
RG3 was hurt there.
Yeah, and I think Kirk Cousins had fully taken over. That was Jay Gruden's first year coaching. Kirk Cousins was the quarterback.
Nobody else in the NFC East. All right, so
Eagles was who I was thinking because that's when, like Omar said, Vic and Shady and all them.
5, 4, 3.
The Bears, lock it in. Seahawks.
Oh my God! How do I forget about Marshawn?
Yeah, that was so. The Seahawks ran for 2,762 yards as a team.
Because they had
Marshawn had 1,306. Russ had nearly 850.
Oh, I forgot about
Robert Turpin had 310. Yeah. Alrighty, so we cannot end in a tie now. It is 7-6. Heading into the bonus round topics, we got Super Bowl one-hit wonders and Atlanta. I needed to
wrong one.
Oops. NFC East is the other one.
Okay.
So we'll start with Omar and Stu. We'll give you guys the chance to take the lead, and then we'll go to Rob and Cruz for theirs. Here we go. In Super Bowl 49, this wide receiver led the Seahawks with 109 yards and a TD, despite only 16 receptions in 22 games the rest of his career. Timer starts now.
Chris
Mine goes to Doug Baldwin.
Chris Matthews.
Chris Matthews.
Chris Matthews.
You sound pretty sure. So go ahead.
Okay, Stu.
Oh,
Jesus.
wow. Damn.
Yeah. Didn't really have a career after that, but shout out to him for unfortunately being in a Super Bowl losing effort because they did lose to New England Malcolm Butler year. Alrighty, 8-7. Chris and Cruz, this is your chance to walk it off again as you did in the first match, and it would be by a 9-8 scoreline as well. So we'll see. The most interceptions by an NFC East player in the 2000s was 9 in the 2009 season. Which cornerback had that many? Timer starts now.
09? I feel like Terrence Newman had a big interception year.
09.
Nobody on the Giants.
I think that was the year D'Angelo Hall had like 4 against the Bears.
He did that as a Falcon or as a
No, it was Washington.
I know Hall was a big. I think
30 seconds.
Terrence Newman, D'Angelo Hall. Who's on the Eagles? Sante Samuel, right? Was he on the Eagles?
He was trash in Philly.
He was trash in Philly, though, right? I know he had big interception years. What are you thinking? I know you got Hall. I don't know. I feel Terrence Newman. I know he had a couple big interception years.
5.
You walked it off with your answer last time, so I trust you.
Let's go. Let's go. Terrence Newman. Lock it in.
Other side. They pick up the win, but they can get points here.
Let's go Hall.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Hall. D'Angelo Hall, lock it in.
Oh.
Yeah. Asante Samuel had 9 interceptions in 2009. He actually, the next year, I think he had 8. There was no other NFC East player that had 7 or more. I think Hall was the closest. He had 7 one year. Alrighty, so preseason number 1 team gets back on track. Omar, Stu, how you guys feeling? Getting back to 500?
Getting rolling. You know, we're rolling.
I got a little nervous there for a minute, but as soon as you hit me with that Super Bowl one, I knew it immediately.
Chris, Cruz, another tight match. How we feeling?
I blew that one for us, but I'll be better next time.
Yeah, definitely blew it.
Chris, you back to being friend? Chris, you back to being friends with Stu, or?
Stu's a cool guy. He's a good guy. Good kid.
Well, that wraps things up. We had a crazy bonus round.
Samuel.
7 was the final with Triviamania. They're the ones.
He just was on his podcast too. Said he was trash too. So that's why I was thinking. I just listened to his podcast. That's why you don't listen to podcasts.
Good thing you're in a podcasting network. Well, appreciate everyone who tuned into trivia. We'll be back for episode 6 next week.